Good morning, everyone. Hi. Hello. Hold on. Let me see. Give me 1 second. Ah, I hear you. Hi, good morning.
Morning.
I'm glad that you got it to work. Okay. Okay, I'm letting people in one by one.
Okay.
Okay, no problem. We are ready.
Yeah, I might start.
Look,
Morning.
she's been up since 6 in the morning trying to figure it out.
Okay, we wait.
Okay, cool.
Thank you.
I'm not great at technology either, so I'm kind of figuring it out as I go.
Okay. Thank you, Professor.
Yes.
Okay. Ay, qué emoción.
Hi, Yvonne.
Ahí van todos.
No, you won't.
No.
¿Eh?
Hi, Yvonne.
Ahí va uno.
No, I won't.
Esto es verdad.
What does that mean?
Hi, Yvonne. Hi, Fallon.
Hey, how's it going?
Good. How are you?
I'm good, good. Yeah, we just got that beautiful rainstorm.
I know. I'm gonna test to see if I can set mood lighting in here.
Can you hear me, Lucas?
I can hear you.
Oh.
You want me to mute you?
Well, whatever. Virtual hug.
Virtual hugs. It looks like Texas is going to be reopened in like 2 days, though. If you've been seeing anything from Governor Abbott.
What did you say?
It looks like they're trying to reopen Texas anyhow, so.
It's been opened.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Nobody give a crap.
It's
Hey,
all-
you look like you've aged like, 2 years. This is in space years, virtual years. You age faster.
I'm letting people in one by one.
Okay,
Let's
it's
see.
up here.
Hi, Catherine.
Maybe here. Maybe here. Move over.
Hi.
Catherine, did you sign up online?
I signed up on ClassPass.
Okay, cool. I was wondering if ClassPass wasn't showing up on our attendance list. That was what I was suspecting. Okay, so good to see you here then.
Thank you.
Making sure that everyone gets their codes. Okay. So if you didn't get an email from Black Swan, grab a block or two if you have them, and if you don't, that's fine. But do grab like a blanket and a pillow, like a pillow that you might be able to sit on. Yeah, it seems maybe like class kind of doesn't show up on the attendance list. It's almost like that. Okay. Hello. Hi, Ruth. Are you on ClassPass, Ruth?
No, I just signed up for the app, or like I signed up online. Yeah, yes, I am on ClassPass. Yes, I guess. No, wait, no, online.
You signed up online.
Yeah.
Okay. I'm being like a stickler. I'm making sure everyone's signed in.
No, I don't live in Houston anymore, so I don't have like my full membership there.
Gotcha. Letting everyone in one by one. So excuse my face being so close to the camera. Hi, Kara.
Hi, how are you?
Good, how are you? I'm muting everyone who comes in, sorry. Hi, Charlie.
Hi.
Hi.
So good to see you.
You too. Charlie and I lived in Chile together in like 2014 or something.
So long ago.
Chile. Muting. Hi, Leah. Mute. Sorry, I muted you as I said hello. Hi, Hannah. Hi, iPad. I think it's Anna. Hi. Hey. Yay, you're both in class. Okay.
Until she wakes up from her nap.
That's okay. My friends have been doing all kinds of things during my classes. I think because we're in the digital setting, we're a lot more relaxed about what we're doing, which is kind of fun. Okay, Ashley, I'm letting in. Hi, Ashley. Ooh. How do you have that background?
Let me see. Oh, I'm still. Oh, I thought I was on mute. Hi, Lucas. I can teach you how. I do it for some of my meetings with my teachers.
I've done it on Microsoft Teams.
Yeah,
But
it's pretty easy.
Okay.
I'm gonna take it off though because it's very tropical this morning, I guess.
Hi, AJ.
It's not AJ.
Oh. Oh. Okay.
Oh, my hair.
So I don't even know. AJ used to live literally across the street from me. I'm staring at his apartment, but I don't know if he still lives there. So hi, AJ, across the
Where
street.
do you live?
I live in Westmoreland. Like
He doesn't, yeah, he used to live in that big apartment complex. He doesn't live there anymore because I think they were like redoing all the units and it just was a pain in the ass.
yeah, I was thinking about moving in there, but I didn't want to deal with the construction.
Wait, do you live on that top unit that that looks directly over to the apartment complex?
Yeah, I live like directly opposite. Everyone was very Hi, Stephanie. Hi, Stephanie.
Hi, good morning.
Hey.
Oh, hi. Okay, I'm muting everyone because it's becoming cacophonous. Hi, Isabel. Muting you. Hi, Leah. Muting you. Okay. Let's see. Okay, it's 10 o'clock now, but I'm going to wait just another couple minutes or so because there should be about at least 8 more people. Hi, Linda. Hi, Letitia. I like have one computer where I'm, sending the invites. I have one where I'm checking on my phone, and then I have the MacBook open here. Okay. Hi, Linda. I'm muting you. Good morning. Emily is joining. Hi, Emily. Hi, Hasib. Okay. Let's see.
दोबारा करना
Muting you, Hasib. Okay. All right, I'll give it. So while you guys are kind of getting situated in your rooms, go ahead and grab like a blanket. If you have a couple blocks, they're not necessary, but you can use those. I know not everyone has that. Grab a blanket too. I'm sure everyone has a blanket. I've kind of been living in a blanket. Hi, Jessica. Hi, Anna. Hi, Rotem. Hi, Tim. Hi, Julia. Don't know if I know Julia. Trying to see. We have some flex time too, which is nice because we're operating on the regular Black Swan schedule. So there's like a half an hour or so in between classes. Okay. Hi, Anna, I'm muting you. Is Tim, Brittany, and Tim? You can't see everyone.
Yes.
Yes, there you are. Okay, I think we're about in. Is Tori in class? Julia's in class. Letitia, Isabel, Aaliyah, waiting for Aaliyah. We'll see if she joins. I think that's everyone. Okay. Muting everyone. Okay, good morning, everyone. Glad that you guys are here. It's so nice to see all of your faces. If you want to keep your camera on, that will help me. Carol Baskin is joining the meeting. Ooh, Tiger King. Hi, Carol Baskin. Okay, if you want to keep your camera on, during class, I'll kind of stop and I'll make sure I'm looking around and I can kind of offer some guidance to everyone. But if you want to keep the camera off, that's okay too. And I'm gonna put everyone on mute. Sorry, a couple more people are joining this last couple of minutes. Okay, so again, if you have, make sure you have at least a blanket and some type of pillow. If you have blocks, then yeah, grab them, of course. But otherwise, we'll get started in just a second. I'm gonna try the AirPods again. How does this sound? Does it sound more like a microphone? It's okay. Okay, I'm switching to AirPods. If these don't end up working out, then I will just use the computer's speaker. Okay, let's get started in a seat. You're gonna take your pillow or your block and place it underneath your sits bones. And you're gonna sit back on your shins. So your hips will be right over your heels and your butt will be hovering seated on the block. You'll hug the thighs into touch. If you don't have a block, then you can sit on a pillow, or if you're okay just sitting back on your heels, that's okay too. If this is uncomfortable for the knees, take your blanket and just put it underneath the knees, and that will provide a little bit of extra padding for you. We'll be here for several minutes. So make sure that you can find a comfortable seat, and that doesn't mean that it has to be static. If you ever get uncomfortable or need to move around, then just change the position. You're looking to set up the conditions so that you can have a really successful practice. So if you're in pain or deep discomfort, maybe change what you're doing a little bit. So the thighs are hugging into touch. I'm gonna pull my glutes out from underneath me so that my left butt can move out to the left and my right butt can move out to the right. And then I'm kind of like cross-referencing myself. My right knee draws away from my left butt and my left knee draws away from my right butt. So I can really open up my pelvic floor. So when we move through a practice, we kind of start from the ground up. It's like building your own house. You set a really nice foundation. So we're setting up really nice conditions so that we can build our Barbie dream home. So take your hands out the length of your thighs. You can close the eyelids or allow the eyelids to dim, and then just start to find a little bit of rhythm with the breath from the seat of your pelvis. So start to rock the pelvis forward and back, and really draw the awareness and the attention all the way down into the center of your pelvis. So imagine at the foundation or in the basement of this home that there's a little pilot light, and you're starting to sort of flick the switch and check if the utilities are working. Flip the circuit breaker, light a match. If any of you have ever experienced flooding, kind of all of our waters flood down into the basement or the lower levels of the house. And so we're gonna start to mop it up a little bit and clean up that lower floor of the body. So start to rock forward and back. And at first you can take this nice and slowly. You might really kind of tap into the sounds around you, the sound of the rain outside or the sound of lightning maybe flashing in the background. But some of you I know aren't in Houston. So there might be completely different surroundings around you. So just start to tap into what's going on around you, and then allow what's going on around you to sync up with what's going on within you. So draw the awareness down into the center of the pelvis, strike the match, start to draw the navel up and in so that all of this effort and this posture is coming from deep beneath you in that first floor of your house. So start to move now just a little bit faster. You can start to build a little bit more heat now. You might even build a little bit of sweat on the brow just by sitting here. Imagine that the tops of the feet are pressing into the mat, the tops of the shins pressing into the mat, and then you're striking the tailbone against the pillow or the block or whatever's underneath you. Let the breath grow a little bit boisterous, maybe not so much
that you are kind of running amok, but just enough that you're building a little bit of heat. Take about 10 or 15 more rounds of breath, just like this, agitating yourself a little bit, stirring yourself up. And then slow it down like you're approaching a red light. And then you can keep the hands where they are, find a different grip, and then start to stir the hips in one direction. So that first action is like striking the match, lighting the fire, getting your water to boil. And now this action is more integrative. It's like stirring the pot, all that stuff that you shook up. Now you're going to gather it up. It's going to build a little bit more volume. You're going to draw it up from the basement. Now you'll notice that there's a little bit more movement incorporated in the torso. You might start to circle out the neck a little bit. These motions are a really easy way to tap into the lower half of the body. Start to circle the other way and notice which way you circled first. And now notice the way you're circling now. For me, it felt completely awkward to switch directions. It was like, I don't know, going down a one-way street the wrong way. It was like, skirt. Where am I? So stir the other direction. Good. And then when you're stirred both directions, just come back to cats and cows for a little bit. I like to come onto my fingertips now that I'm a little bit more voluminous. I feel a little bit more activity going on underneath me. And now it begins to build a little bit more volume in my torso and my crown of head. My neck starts to get a little bit more involved. Slow it back down. We'll do one pranayama exercise. This is like a really good way to quickly energize yourself. So if you're not used to pranayama practice, try it out. Basically, as you inhale, you extend the arms up overhead, make two little cups. You might even throw the gaze up toward the ceiling. Big breath in through the nose. The breath fills the belly, fills the chest. As you exhale, you hug the elbows in, open the mouth and go, inhale, open up. Exhale, in, out, in, slow it back down. All of that junk that we're stirring up, it's like we're pumping it out. We're letting it spew from the crown of our head, get out of our basement so that we're not all muddy in the basement, we're nice and clean. Take a breath in, hook your thumbs overhead. Hold the breath at the top. Feel the breath sit at the crown of your head and then take 3 more sips in through the mouth. Hold the breath in and pull the breath down to the pit of your pelvis. Imagine that there's a thread from crown of head to your navel. And then open the mouth and let the breath go. Arms go down by the sides. Good. You can start to remove the block or the prop from underneath you and come onto all fours. If your shins felt uncomfortable by any means, just sit with that feeling for a moment. Feel maybe the heat that's being released from the ankles or the tops of the feet. And then organize yourself. It's hands underneath shoulders, hips over the knees. Keep pressing the tops of your feet into the mat. It's like that anchor, that really nice foundation in the lower half of the body. And then just take a couple cats and cows here. From here, you'll flip your wrists. If you're not used to flipping the wrist, try one hand at a time. your fingertips point back toward the knees and the wrists point to the front edge of the mat. Spread the elbows apart so that you can really throw the collarbones forward. So now we're working in lower half, upper half of body and starting to integrate a little bit more. Stir around the wrist joints. This is especially key if you have like hypermobility in your elbows or you're double jointed in the elbows. Keep a little bend, pull the elbows apart so that you're not locking anything out or cutting off your circuitry. Stir the other way, keep pressing down through index and thumb knuckle. Keep pulling the navel in, keep kicking through the tops of the feet. Notice if your gaze is curling in. This is also really nice for opening up the shoulders so that you can take a better view of your surroundings, what's going on around you. Good, take a couple cats and cows just like this. Good. Then you'll keep your wrists flipped if you can. If you can't, that's okay. You can flip them back the normal way. We're gonna take a side plank modified on our left-hand side. So keep your left knee pivoted down and pivot your left toes off the left edge of your mat. Step your right foot back and then carve your right heel down and peel the right arm up toward the ceiling. The blade edge of your back foot grounds you, and then you keep pressing the weight forward so the shoulder's really over the wrist. Rotate your armpit in so that you could almost fit your chin in your armpit. Press the hips away and then extend your arm forward. The right shoulder pulls back as the left hip pulls forward. Take a breath here. And then find your hand and your knee to meet the mat. The wrist just adds a little bit more complexity to the pose, but by no means is it the end all be all. So with or without the right wrist flip, you're gonna take the opposite side. Right knee is down, I pivot my right toes off the mat, left foot steps back, carve the heel down, press the hips away as I peel my left arm up. I keep shifting weight so the shoulder is really over the wrist, a little bend of my elbow, and then press the hips away, extend the left arm. Peel the left shoulder back so the right hip can pull forward. Look out. Hand and knee meet the mat. Turn the fingertips forward and tent up onto the fingertips. Imagine that you're gonna suction what's underneath the hands right up into the palms so that you can really reintegrate the wrists here. Take a couple cat-cow. I kind of just noticed that Ethan is in my bedroom secretly practicing. Secretly following along. Did you sign up, sir? Good. Couple more things here in our tabletop. I kind of want to keep things low to the ground today. Extend your right leg out behind you. I think we did this the last couple weeks. Look out in front of you. Hug your elbows in, collarbones reach forward. Take a breath in, press the heel back, throw the gaze out. And then exhale, curl the knee in toward the chest. Keep looking out, and then round the back so the knee touches the nose. And then inhale it back. And this time as you exhale, you're gonna tick-tock your right foot over to the left. It'll step down behind your left foot. Keep pressing your right heel back. It's almost like you're in a plank, but your right leg is all the way over to the left, behind your left foot. And then curl your left ear in toward your left shoulder. Press your right heel back, pull your right hip forward, shoulders roll down the back. A little stretch for the right side of the neck. Right leg comes back. And then make like a little fire hydrant with your leg, bend the knee, couple circles in either direction. Love seeing all these little dogs. And then step the right foot out to the right, bend the knee over the ankle and stir the hips in a circular motion. And then your knee will meet your left. We'll do the left side. Extend the left leg long behind you. Your hips are in line with one another. Look out, take a breath in and press the heel back, the collarbones, the gaze forward. As you exhale, curl the knee into the chest. Take a breath in, squeeze it in, and then roll the nose in toward the knee on the exhale. Inhale it back. Good. Left leg starts to tick-tock over to the right. You step the left foot down behind your right. Press your left heel back and then curl your right knee in toward your shoulder. You can pulse the left heel back as you pull your left hip forward. Nice. Good. And then take your left knee out to the left. Find your little fire hydrant dog. Take a few circles in either direction. You guys look great. Nice. And then step the left foot all the way out to the left side and start to circle your hips around in a little circular motion. Kind of just like luxuriating in these postures a little bit. When you're ready, your left knee meets your right. Tuck your toes underneath you and then find a downward facing dog. In your downward facing dog, let the dog out of its cage a little bit. So pedal out the feet, wag the tail. Feel free to throw a leg into the air. Notice if you've been cooped up in your kennel a little bit too long, and just kind of explore a little bit. Notice where you feel a lot of the effort in this posture. Maybe it's in the shoulders for some of us. Maybe it's in the hamstrings for others. Stephanie, nice. Good. And then we'll organize our dog a little bit by coming forward to a plank. So our plank is the measurement for dogs. It allows us to get our shoulders right over our wrists and our heels right over the balls of our feet. Notice if you're sticking your butt up or sagging the hips, and imagine that you're a long line like a plank, crown of head to back heels. Pull the navel and imagine that you're gonna drag your navel toward the front of your mat, squeeze the elbows in, gaze and collarbone reach forward as your heels pull back. Take a breath in here, and then allow the hips to pull gently up and back as if gravity was kind of pulling the hips skyward. When you find your dog, keep a bend in the knees. So there's a little conjunction between what's going on in the lower half of the body and the upper half of the body so that they can have a conversation, your bellies and your thighs. Imagine that your belly was gonna fold right up into the tops of the thighs, and then separate the knees slightly and really stick your butt up and back toward the crown molding of the room you're in. Hug your elbows and your armpits in, and then look forward and take a breath in, pull forward, find a plank. Heels drive back, navel pulls forward, gaze looks forward, and then exhale, guide the hips up and back. Inhale, pull it forward. Exhale, go up and back. Inhale forward, exhale up and back. A lot of times in class, you'll notice that people kind of roll forward, they ripple forward. I want you instead to think that you're buoyant and springy and that your legs are coiling up as you come back to dog. And as you exhale, that they're propelling your chest forward. So inhale, bend the knees, exhale, propel the chest forward to plank. So go forward and back, keep the armpits wrapping in toward each other, the elbows hugging in so that you don't dump through your biceps. You can take this all the way to upward facing dog if you'd like. And then when you feel like you've built so much heat that you just can't take it anymore, roll over the toes, toes touch, knees out wide, and find a little child's pose. Your hips will come toward the back of the room. So rather than thinking that you have to press your tailbone in toward your heels, think about flaring the sits bones back out behind you. You can tent up onto the fingertips here. You could even place like a block or a pillow underneath the chest to keep a little elevation in the chest. And then imagine that you were able to draw a line of breath through the crown of your head, all the way out through the tailbone, and then back up the front side of the body in like a little circuit. Look forward, you're on the fingertips, and spider walk the fingertips over to the right corner of your mat. They can even come off of the mat. Pull your left butt bone away from your right armpit. And find your pelvis, your pubic bone right in the middle of that cross section. Walk the fingertips through the middle. Maybe you get a little bit more length, flare the sits bones back, and then fingertips over to the left corner of the mat. Belly comes over the left thigh. The right hip anchors as the left armpit extends. Feel the left hip crease as you open the right side of your body. Good, we're gonna take this child's pose one little step further. You'll pick up your right arm and then thread the right arm underneath your left armpit for a twist. You can stay on the right side of the arm and extend the left arm to the front of the mat, or you can bend the right elbow, cup the palm with your left hand, and twist like you would in a lunge or a chair, hooking your right elbow over to the left. Rather than thinking about leaning into the twist to the left, think about the collarbones reaching toward the front edge of your mat, the tailbone and the sits bones reaching toward the back edge of your mat, your right chest over to the left, and your left chest over to the right. Unthread that twist and take it on the other side. Left arm threads underneath the right. Stay on the left side of the arm and extend the right arm forward. Another option is to bend at that elbow, cup the fist with your right hand. If you have a block, you can put it right underneath the left side of your face, the left temple. It's a nice little massage. And then unwind that twist. Walk the fingertips back forward. Good. And then come forward into like a little cow pose. Arch the back, lift the tailbone, and then exhale, go back into your child's pose. And then inhale, you pull forward, arch the back. And then exhale, pull the hips back, come back to child's. Couple times, just like that. In and out. Good. Inhale, pull forward. Then exhale, pull the hips back. The last moment you fold in. Good. Come forward, shoulders over the wrist, palms down. Left foot back, right foot back. Come back to a downward dog. Wag your tail a couple times. Like a vinyasa or some other type of movement. Looking for my water. And then when you're ready, lift your right leg up and back for a three-legged dog. Nice. Keep hugging the armpits, the elbows in toward each other. And notice if you locked out your left leg, keep a little bend to it so that you keep having that conversation, belly and thigh. Good. Stephanie, little bend in your left knee, even more, so you can really hike the right heel up and find the line from fingertips to heel. Good. Look forward and pull forward to a three-legged plank. Same thing as we did in our cat-cow. You're going to pull the knee into the chest without rounding the back to start. Good. Squeeze the knee in. And now round the knee to the nose. Look forward and step your foot in between your palms. Nice. The knee is right over the ankle. You can keep the back toes tucked if you like, but see if you can really bend into the right knee. You might feel the top of the left thigh open up for you. Fingertips tent out wide to the left and right edges of your mat. Plug the knee into the armpit, and then just start to take some circular motions here. The more you glue that knee into the armpit, the more of a conversation your lower half of the body is going to have with the upper half of the body. If you have like a lot of tension in your shoulders, really glue that knee into the armpit and break up some of that gunk. Just like we sort of scrub the lower half of the body with those cats and cows, use the knee and the contact of the knee into the armpit to sort of scrub out some of that gunk in the upper half. Keep the chest open, keep the gaze slightly forward. Circle the other way. It's almost like you're moving between a kneeling lunge and some sort of variation of a lizard or a half split. Feel free to play with flexing and pointing the toes. Nice, you guys. Bend back through your right knee. Bring your hands inside of the foot and then heel toe your right toes out to the right. Your toes can point off the right-hand corner of the mat. It's like a little lizard variation. Good. From here, you can start to roll onto the blade edge of your right foot. And then as you roll onto the blade edge of the foot, what I want you to do is press down through the blade edge of that foot, so much so that you really feel your right butt engage and pull back behind you. Flare the chest forward, open up the collarbones, and then find that anchor of the left leg and kick through the top of your left foot. Some of you can do this all the way down on the forearms, but see if you can keep your chest reaching forward. And then keep that engagement through the right leg, but rotate the sole of your right foot down. So same thing, but the whole right foot is pressing down. Walk your fingertips to the left. Left fingertips stay tented. Press the right thigh away. Now that you have the whole sole of your foot down on the mat, press the right knee back into your right hand and really pull the right butt back. Kick through the top of your left foot. Kick through the top of your left foot. The left chest pulls to the right chest pulls back. Pubic bone forward, tailbone back. Good, you'll stay here or start to bend your left knee, bend your left knee, bend your left knee. The heel is squeezing in toward the glute without unbending the right leg. See if you can catch the outside ankle or the top of the foot. And then pull the heel into the glute. as you continue to pull the foot away from the hand. Release the foot, swim the right arm around. Good, come back to a dog. Ugh. It's hard for me to commiserate when I can only hear the sound of my own voice. Left leg reaches up and back as you're ready for a three-legged dog. Good. Remember to bend the supporting leg so that you're not losing that half the body. Hug your armpits, hug your elbows in. If you have a hard time not rounding here, throw the gaze slightly out in front of you. It'll give you that crescendo, that arc of the back. And then throw the right knee slightly out to the right. Good. This should start to almost like fall apart for you. And then when you're ready, three-legged plank, pull forward. Nice. Hug the knee into the chest without rounding the back to start. Nice, you guys. And then squeeze the knee a little bit tighter. And now round the knee of the nose. Step the foot through. This is my version of a power flow. Good. Knee is in the armpit. Walk the fingertips out wide and just start to take those circular motions through the hips. So a lot of the motions that we're doing are echoing what we've done throughout class. We're just adding a little bit of volume, allowing ourselves to luxuriate in the process of this all. Imagine that the left foot is like pressing on a gas pedal. And that the left knee is the gear shift. Play with shifting the gears, play with the tempo or the velocity. Notice if you're circling just one way, circle the other way. Anna looks like she's practicing in a cave. Okay, and then when you're ready, palms inside of the foot, heel toe your left foot out to the left. Allow your toes to point toward the corner of your mat so that you can kind of really open the groin a little bit. And then roll onto the blade edge of the foot here to start. As you find the blade edge of the foot, drive it into the mat so much so that you can really feel the left hip pull back. You might even feel your left glute say, what's going on here? Bend into the left knee. So don't lose the bend in the knee. Nice, Hannah, a little bit more. Send your pelvis forward. Find that edge, right? Good, nice, Jessica. Now, press the whole sole of the foot into the mat, walk your fingertips out to the right, and take your left hand to your left thigh and do the same thing. This time, give yourself tension. The knee presses back into the hand. Pull your left hip back, just the same. Tim, bend through the knee. Nice. Kick through the top of your back foot, back foot, back foot. Really feel the top of your pelvis press forward, and then you'll start to bend the back knee, and you may or may not go for that twist. See if you can grab the outside of the ankle or the top of the foot. And then if you have the grip, re-bend the front knee. Send the pelvis forward. Imagine it's a back bend. Pubic bone forward. Release the twist. Come back to dog. Nice, you guys. We haven't stood up once, but I'm like drenched in sweat. Grab a little sip of water as you're ready. How are we doing? Okay? Good. Oh, Danny, okay, you're in. Good. Great. Danny's like in Colorado in the mountains. I'm so jealous. Okay, we're gonna move through a little tiny baby little standing series. And then we're gonna sit back down because we're already like 40 minutes through. When you're ready, we'll come back to dog. And then look forward of your hands. Find that nice dog that we set up earlier. And then look forward and on a breath in, lunge the right foot forward. Set up your lunge here. We're gonna keep the back knee lifted for this variation. You're gonna press the heel of your back foot so it's right over the ball of your foot so you can lift your butt a little bit. The knee is right on the armpit, and then you're gonna find the thighs wrapping into each other. Walk your fingertips forward. Squeeze the thighs in. Find like a little engagement on the outer sides of your hips, and then reach the arms straight forward. Ooh. Belly's on the thigh. Gaze is reaching forward, knee is reaching forward, and then unpeel yourself. Find a crescent. Notice if you're pressing your left heel back and you're really in your butt, and press the left heel forward so that the top of your left thigh can really wrap toward the front of the room. Good. Find your left arm underneath your right for an eagle arm. Lift the elbows up. Tuck your chin into the crease of the elbows. And you're gonna find one little back bend here, just like this. Inhale, arms reach up, lift the chest, press to the top of your right foot, and then look forward and start to hinge and fold it forward. Belly is right on the thigh. You can keep the eagle arms here, keep reaching the arms forward in that eagle, or you can unthread the arms, reach them forward, take a twist. Left arm or armpit hooks over the right thigh. Just like we did in child's pose. Some of you can bring the left hand all the way down to the mat. Nice, you guys. Good. When you're ready, unwind it. Step it back to dog. You can move forward through a plank or maybe an upward facing dog, or just wag your tail. We'll do that second side. Shortest standing series ever. Nice. Step your left foot forward. The breath in, you look forward to lunge the left foot forward. If you need to scoot the foot forward, just take an extra step. Nice. Good. Find the line in your lunge. So it's knee over ankle, back leg scoots back. Back heel's right over the ball of the foot. And then walk the fingertips out in front of you. Hug the thighs in toward each other. Heel of right foot's right over the ball, and then arms reach forward. Peel yourself open. Little lunge. Hey, it's like we're all doing YMCA together. Good. Bend to the left knee. Press the heel of your back foot forward. Eagle, wrap the arms. I think it's right arm underneath the left. If you can, you grab the wrist of your left arm and then lift the elbows, lift the chin, put the chin in the crease of the elbows so that you can find a plug. And then take a breath in and reach it up. And then hinge from your hips. Come forward, 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 forward. You can take a moment for the belly to rest on the thighs and really find that eagle arm. And then you'll take it into a twist. Right arm hooks over the left. Take it to the left. You can do this with or without your back knee lifted. I think some of you took the variation with the knee lowered down. That's great. Nice, Charlie. Press your knee into the back of the arm. Imagine that your left knee wants to pull out to the left slightly. Nice, Danny. Don't lean into the twist. Great. When you're ready, come out of it. Come to a dog. Come out of breath. When you're ready, you'll lower the knees down. Take a little water. We're going to move through our last kind of set of the night, or of the day, excuse me. So when you're ready, I want everyone to grab that blanket if you have the blanket with you. If you don't, nice time to grab your blanket. I have like a little Mexican blanket. I think a lot of people in Houston have a blanket like this. And making it into like a square. So you'll fold it up into a square. It's about the width of your mat. And basically what we're gonna do with this is make it into a bolster. If you have a bolster around, you can use a bolster too. So you're gonna roll the blanket up into like a little round perch for our pigeons that we're gonna do next. So take that blanket. This is gonna be a little perch for your pelvis. You can also use pillows, you can use a bolster, you can use blocks. Been laughing about all of the yoga teachers telling students to like grab a can of tomatoes, use it as a block. Well, I can't find tomatoes at the store, so thanks. Okay, so set up for your pigeon by taking your right knee over toward your right wrist. Your right knee comes all the way out toward the right edge of your mat. We're not gonna fold right into it yet. I want you to first set up the hips. So take that blanket, put it right underneath the center of your perineum, or that spot in between your pubic bone and your tailbone. And then same thing we did when we were in that sort of lizard variation. You're gonna press to the top of your right leg to really pull the right hip back and kick through the left foot to send the left hip forward. Some of you might need like a little extra boost or an extra pillow underneath that right side. That's fine. But your pigeon should be able to sit on a perch. So strut for breadcrumbs or whatever pigeons do. When you fold it forward, I want you to find a hinge from your hip. So look forward, look forward, look forward, look forward, look forward, look forward, and then start to walk the fingertips out wide. If you have blocks or another pillow, put it underneath the chest, the forehead. You can rest your side of your face to one side. Especially if you want to kind of like work more with your armpits and your shoulders, really stay tense on the fingertips. You can really wrap the armpits in and then pull the shoulder blades down the back as you reach the gaze out in front of you. Think of the breath here as a little circuit to help self-soothe and rejuvenate. The bottom of the breath, allow the inhale to rise up the front of your body toward the crown of the head. As you exhale, to trickle back down the back line of the body, down to the tip of your tailbone, underneath you. And then you inhale the breath up the front. And exhale the breath down the back. As the breath cycles up the front and down the back line of the body, find the orientation of the left hip out to the left and the right hip out to the right. Find the right shoulder, pull away from the left heel. And the left shoulder, pull away from the right butt. If you want to stay a little bit more active in pigeon, you can walk your fingertips to either corner of the mat. Or even take this pigeon into a twist like we did with our child's pose. Give it about 5 more rounds of breath. And then gingerly start to walk the fingertips back underneath the shoulders. And we'll switch sides. You can switch any way you'd like. Through a dog or a tabletop or whatever have you. So your left knee comes outside of the left hand slightly, and your pelvis comes to rest on top of that blanket or bolster or pillow or block. The left hip pulls back as the top of the right thigh pulls forward. Should be able to sit up on your pigeon. And then walk the fingertips out. You can make a pillow with your hands if you don't have another prop with you. But see if you can find a way to keep your chest slightly elevated. Crown of the head pulls forward as the tailbone pulls back. And allow your breath to move like a current. So that even when we're static, there's still some movement, there's still a spin. You can walk the fingertips to either side if you'd like, or take that twist. Really beautiful, Anna. When you're ready, rather than coming back to dog, take your back leg out toward the front of your mat. So now you're in a little bit of a seat. If you have that blanket, you can stay seated on top of it. There's a couple of options for these last several postures that we move through, these last handful of postures we move through. And I'll kind of point them out to you so that we can all get something out of this. So the first variation that we'll start with is our fire log, which is an ankle to knee pose, meaning that your ankle lines up with the knee. So take your left shin and make it parallel to the front edge of your mat. This is our first option. And then you'll take the opposite ankle, your right ankle, and place it right over the left knee. For many of us, the right knee won't connect to the left ankle, in which case you take your fingertips out to either edge of your mat, lift your butt, stick your butt out, and start to fold forward. If you're like, no way, Jose, today, what I want you to do is find the same kind of movement, but with your right leg crossed in front of the left. Lift the butt, stick the butt out, and fold it forward. We'll move this posture into a little twist. All of us can take this twist. Whether your right ankle is crossed in front of the left. If you're in your fire log, take your left blade edge of, or the right blade edge of your foot, excuse me, and tuck it right into the crease of your left hip. The right knee is still over the left ankle. The left shin is still parallel to the mat. Otherwise, your legs are just crossed. And then you can take your left hand to your right knee, your right fingertips behind you, and find a little twist. Some of you can take the right hand all the way behind the back and grab the foot of the opposite leg. We'll do the other side as you're ready. You'll unwind the right leg, extend the left leg, bring your right shin down. If you're taking our ankle to knee pose, take your left ankle, stack it over the right knee. You'll flex both of the feet. Maybe the left knee doesn't connect. That's okay. You can lift your hips up, pull the hips back, and start to fold to help yourself find that crease. Otherwise, your left shin crosses in front of the right. Try the same thing out. Lift the hips, stick the butt out. Everyone folds over for maybe 3 to 5 rounds of breath here. Play with the breath. You can move this posture into your twist, either by taking your right hand to your left knee, left fingertips behind you, or taking the blade edge of that left foot, tucking it, turning the Sole of the foot side up. And then finding the twist. Breath rises up the back and down the front as you exhale. When you are ready, come back to the center. I'll give this one last option for my people who want to go one step further, which is to find your little lotus variation. So your blade at the sole of your left foot, if you took that twist variation, is facing up and the blade edge of the foot's right in the crease of your right hip. What you do is take your right foot, sole of the foot turns up, blade edge of the foot comes right into the crease of the opposite hip. Lots of things you can do here. You can take a cat-cow. You can roll onto your belly, roll onto your side, roll around on your butt. Try that on both sides. For everyone else, we're going to move toward the end of class. Just a couple of side bends. So sole of your left foot comes into the right groin. Right leg extends. If you're playing with lotus, you can play around a little bit more. Good. Take your right arm inside of the right leg, little bend to the right knee, and then rotate your left chest back and find a little side bend. Reach the left arm up and over the left ear. You can rock from side to side in that side bend, like you're cradling a baby. And then the left side, left leg will come out, right leg comes in. At your own time. Little bend to the left knee so that you can find the left shoulder inside of the left knee. Left arm in line with the left leg, and then peel the right arm up and then extend it over as if you were extending your arm past your left leg. Right chest back, left chest moves to the right. When you're ready, bring the soles of the feet down to the mat in front of you. Your knees are nice and bent. And then you'll arch the back, pull through the knees with your palms, and then start to round the back, forehead to knees. Just like 2 more times like that. And then you can start to roll onto the back. Soles of the feet can stay planted here. Let the feet come out wide and the knees to knock in. If you feel a lot of tension in the hips, you can even like cross the legs and hook the ankles on either side. And then you'll find kind of your version of Shavasana here, whether you'd like to take a couple twists or something in between, I'll leave up to you. Can be nice to fan the arms up overhead or even cross the arms and give yourself like a little embrace. And pull the shoulders out from under you. Allow the eyelids to close or to dim. This is where I'll let you guys go. Feel free to stay in this resting position for as long as you need to. Hope you guys have a wonderful rest of your day. My name's Lucas. I'll be here every Sunday morning, 10 a.m. If you have any questions, feel free to message me on Instagram or wherever else. Hope you guys have a wonderful rest of your day. Love you guys. Namaste.
Bye. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you, Lucas.
Bye.
Bye. Thanks, Lucas. Have a good day.
Hiya.
I can't hear anyone.
Bye.
Hi, Jessica.
Hi.
Bye.
Hi.
Here comes